a follow-up video to the peach sponge. So I made a peach sponge. It was very nice. I wasn't 100% happy with it. I'm generally not 100% happy with everything. And I kind of thought, well, I'd try it again, but I'd use half peaches, half tinned peaches. They're a little bit more expensive, and I thought it'd kind of make a nicer kind of peach sponge in the vein of an upside down pineapple cake, but an upside down peach sponge, using peaches instead, because tins of peaches like that are relatively cheap, a cheap way of buying tin fruit anyway. But then I was thinking, I had two thoughts. I was kind of thinking that, well, actually the first time I did it, I had the peaches lying, I don't want to take the peaches out of that, but the peaches were lying flat like that. But I kind of thought, well, what happens if we turn them up that way? We'll be able to get more peaches in, so there'll be a little bit more on view in the cake. But it worked out well, so we'll give it a go like that. So there's like a tin and a half worth of peaches there, and then I have got the juice from the peaches, and I reduced it down, so it's like a nice glossy syrup. That worked well last time. So that goes in the bottom like that. So as the sponge cooks, it will soak the that will soak up the peach juice, which would be nice. So it'd be like a syrupy kind of sponge as well. I'll have to use something dirty, as always. I'm not prepared. I'm winging it as always. So we just need to get a bit of that out of the bottom of there. But that is from the cake mixture. So then also, I was a little bit concerned that last time I made it, that the top of the cake, which would be the top, which because you turn it over would be the bottom, was a little bit bumpy. And then I was remembering that if you use baking powder in a cake, a little bit of extra baking powder, it makes it rise up and then it drops down again as well. So I've made a cake mixture and I put some extra baking powder in it. So it's a 4-egg cake mixture, which in old money, like if you want, that's ounce. So it's 8 ounces of flour, 8 ounces of butter, 8 ounces of sugar, and then a teaspoon of baking powder. I can't remember what it is. It's about 28 grams per ounce, if I can remember rightly. And then gently, because we don't want to disturb the peaches, put the cake mixture on top, and it would hopefully melt into the gaps into the peaches as it cooks. Hopefully. There might be a little bit too much cake mixture because there's more peaches this time, but we'll see how we go. So everything's just a bit of fun, and mostly me just faffing around with things, or me going swimming and having an idea of how I could do something just a little bit different and making it a little bit better. So hopefully that's going to, I think that's too much cake mixture. I think that's too much cake mixture. I'll take some out. I don't want it to come over. So it might be a 3-egg cake mixture. Might be a bit better kind of example of what we're doing, because there's more peaches, but we'll see how we go. So I don't want it to explode. I want it to be if it's going to be a success, I want it to be a proper success, but I don't think that should be okay. So we'll pretend it's a 3-egg cake mixture. I'll eat that raw cake mixture, and this is going to go in an oven, 180 degrees, fan. We'll see how it turns out. If it flattens down during cooking, it kind of soaks into all the peaches underneath, I might put that cake mixture in a little bit into the cooking, which will work. It'll be fine. But anyway, this is this. We'll see how we go. Right, cake should be ready. Ooh, maybe a little bit over ready, with a little bit of burnt there. That'll teach me for getting distracted. So, as you can see, it's risen up slightly there. Risen up slightly there. You see without me tipping it out. So it's kind of risen up, but it's sunk back down again. So that's fine, it's that. So the baking powder works. We'll see if it just kind of flattens out a little bit more as it cools. So it needs to cool before we can pull it out and have a look at it. So just wanted to kind of point out the baking powder stops that huge kind of mound in the middle. So it kind of works. Well, it kind of works. Well, it works, does the baking powder trick. Cake is cool. Let's have a look. have to be careful with this. So, relatively flat top. So that baking soda trick worked. Let's just have a look. I don't think it's worked out just as well as the other one. Let's have a look. Maybe we should turn it over. How can we turn it over? Let's just flip it up and see. No, just a little bit too wet at the bottom. Just a little bit too wet. I don't think putting the syrup in was a good idea. I think the peaches by themselves, yes. I don't think the peaches and the syrup. So let's just put it there. It's going to be nice, if I'm honest. Yeah, I'm just not 100% happy about it. I mean, the other one that I made was delicious, and it tasted better the next day and the day after that, because the flavour of the peach had managed to go all, like, kind of saturated all the way through the cake. Yeah, I don't think we can get around. I'll have to make it again. I'll have to make it again. I want to taste. It's alright. Not as good as the first one. I think putting the peach juice in as well is too much liquid. Too much liquid down the bottom of the cake. But I had to try. And it'll lead us somewhere else. I've already kind of got an idea. I think I was thinking about cakes and how you kind of want the fruit to be suspended in the cake equally all the way through. And I was kind of thinking, why? Why do we want that? I mean, why is that important? When to have, like a pineapple upside down cake, has a pineapple at the bottom and cake on top. You know. La 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 la. Yeah. Okay. So, what we've learned from this is the baking powder works. So you get that nice kind of flat bottom, or flat top, which then turns into the bottom. So that's okay. So it kind of looks alright like that. It looks alright. Just that bit of soggy cake is not what we wanted. So I have an idea for the next one. We'll do it again. I won't be beaten. And I don't really kind of want to go down the route of buying half peaches. I'm sure there is something we can do with these 10 peaches. Right, I mean, the first cake was nice. You know, I mean, the next step is to kind of probably make it without reducing the syrup and putting the syrup in. Maybe doing the same with the peaches. Draining them for a little bit longer so they're not wet. Not putting the syrup in. Making the cake the same way. And then and then maybe adding the syrup afterwards. So heating the syrup up and pouring it into the cake. So it won't be like soggy cake mixture like it is there, which kind of feels a little bit raw. It will be saturated syrup into the cake, which will be nicer. So not a huge success, but we've learned something important about the baking soda, and we know where we're going next time.